So for the Transgender Teen Survival Guide, I've teamed up with Chrissi and Evie. They have a phenomenal amount of questions asked them every week. They have about 22,000 unanswered questions in the backlog. So we attempted to find the most common questions and try to answer them. So it's going to be a series of about 7 or 8 videos, and this is the first one. I hope you enjoy it. Hey everybody, my name is Fox and I live in Brighton in England. I'm here with my good friend
Evie. I'm a vlogger on My Generation. I do some videos for Fox.
Absolutely, and for those of you who don't know about My Generation, I'm wearing a little t-shirt here to plug it, and we've been going for about 3 years now, and we just introduced a bunch of amazing vloggers to our channel, including the lovely Evie Andrew. And we met Chrissi last week, and we've decided to all team up together so we can have 2 videos available for you.
I'm Chrissi, some of you will know, and I am a moderator on Transgender Teen Survival Guide, and as a lot of you might know, we have quite a backlog of questions. Some of you know me, some of you know Fox, some of you know Evie, and this is going to be like a hyper video for all of you to watch and take in the knowledge of the combined 3 of us. These are frequently asked questions, so we try to look for a cross-section of the kind of the questions that were asked, and we try to address as many questions as possible with each answer that we give.
Question number 1. Anonymous says, do you guys know any good video, documentary sort of things for non-binary or F to M trans people? I've seen Jazz, who is a young person, young M to F living in America, and others like that, but not that many are F to M or non-binary individuals, and I was wondering whether you knew of any. We have quite a few short, we call them mini documentaries about people ranging in age and interest and identity, obviously. So we have a few non-binary people that we've represented, including Cian Lester, CJ Bruce. We'll leave links below so you can check them out, but they're available on YouTube, and there's a lot of content out there, and we were talking about that as well recently, about how there are documentaries out there, but a lot of them are doing the circuits and the festivals and stuff, and we want to be able to make content more available to people just for free. So it's out there, it is there, and we'll leave links to stuff so you can have a look at that.
I've watched them and they really are brilliant. Even if you're not interested in watching documentary films, check them out. They will give you some brilliant insight into trans people's lives, which is something that doesn't get talked about too often. MTF videos are more common, as with the I Am Jazz, stuff like that, but the FTM stuff are definitely covered on your channel. I know of a video, sure, this one's a video and it's got a trans guy in it.
And also, the reason we started making videos is because we didn't see a huge amount of information out there, so we started to do something about it. So perhaps you might like to pick up a camera and start to make content to help other people too. So.
If you do have any videos that you think will be useful, please link them in the comments below.
Right,
okay.
Second question.
Do you want me to read this one?
Yes, please.
Cool. Estrogen typically makes you more emotional, so does testosterone make you less emotional?
Let's consider this, shall we? I think, from personal experience, before taking testosterone, I was a bit of a wreck. I definitely cried a lot, and I think that had a lot to do with the fact that I was running on the wrong fuel for my body, but estrogen does actually make you more emotional. On testosterone, I do have the same emotions, but I process them differently. So instead of crying about something, I might just be able to deal with it in my mind and be able to assess it better from a different perspective, and that doesn't make me want to cry. It might make me angry, or it might make me feel a bit strange about it, but I'm more in control with my emotions, so it does change things, definitely.
I think we can all speak about this as well, because all of us in this room have experienced both sides of the hormone sort of arrangement, and I'm Chrissi. I experienced testosterone poisoning for the first half of my life, and when I had testosterone in my body, I was much angrier. So I think it's probably about the same range of emotions, maybe different, as Fox said, processing them completely differently. But yeah, I was a very angry person before estrogen helped me see the light, so to speak.
But it's also worth saying that it could be due to dysphoria. Like we've had
exactly.
Crying pre-transition, and also anger and stuff like that, and that could be just due to dysphoria. but also, like, I can attest to the fact that I had testosterone pre-transition, and
Testosterone poisoning.
yeah, testosterone poisoning,
Poisoning.
and I cried a hell of a lot. So
Right.
testosterone has absolutely nothing to do with that. I don't think it's just how you process emotions.
Yeah.
I didn't cry, I just hit things. They weren't living things.
Yeah.
I should point that out. I'm not a violent person.
Because you can still cry on testosterone, you can still have emotions, it's just, I feel like I process them then differently, but
Yeah,
I'm not emotionless.
I feel like actually testosterone, I had more emotions, like going on, knocking around in my head. So I don't know. It will be different perspectives.
Great, question number 3.
Maybe you read this one.
I heard athletic tape is safe for binding, not ace bandages or duct tape, and I know they're waterproof, but is it possible to wear it while swimming? If I put a t-shirt over it, for example? I can't get a rash guard because it'll make my family suspicious. I'm relatively small-chested, but the only swimming top I have is very feminine. So this is a binder question.
This is a binding question. Well, I'm intrigued by this because how will a rash guard make your family suspicious? I know rash guards are used by men and women, so there might be a way of getting around this and actually asking for a rash guard, particularly if you're doing certain sports in the water, or you want to be more streamlined, or I'm sure you could find a way. But the athletic tape question, obviously it's waterproof, and it is a bit porous as well. I know that athletic tape is pretty good stuff to use. So I think the answer is, if it's not hurting you, try it out. If it's not hurting you, go ahead with it. I had a rash vest actually, and they're really, really good at kind of holding everything down. So I would recommend some tape in the rash vest if you can get hold of one. For sure.
I also wanted to point out, this is one of the reasons why I invited Fox to help me with this video. Well, now we're all helping each other,
Yeah.
but because I try my hardest to answer your guys' questions, but there's like areas where my knowledge just doesn't suffice, and I have to put it out to the followers. But now I have a subject matter expert with me, so I want to cover a little bit more about binding, and specifically like UK in binding in the UK.
I think, yeah, I mean, binding's pretty universal, but absolutely, you know, depending on what products are around,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, just a little bit of background information. I was binding for quite a while, I would say, because I was a drag king before I kind of went into living my life as I am now, and I'm so much happier now, obviously. But as a drag king, I did bind my chest a lot throughout my 20s, and then I bound probably solidly for about 4 years before I had my top surgery. And the idea of going through another summer was like just awful, and like, you know, just all the stuff that goes with the back problems and sweating to death, and yeah, just feeling really dysphoric about myself was not pleasant. So I feel for you out there, you know, and I have to say it could have been worse for myself because my chest wasn't as big as some other guys. But if you do have a large chest and you do bind a lot, I know it's sometimes worse to not bind, or you feel more dysphoric not binding, but it really hurts to bind. Just be good to yourself and try and find a way to not bind all the time. You know, it's not good to sleep in your binder, even though if it makes you feel better about yourself, you're asleep for most of the night. So just try and not bind at night, and just take breaks every 4 hours or so. See if you can kind of, I've read this before, so you can put your hand into your binder and you can cough, and that kind of expands your lungs a bit.
Yeah, that's some advice that the other mod Fox on
Well done,
Transgender
Fox.
has pointed out in the past. And I also should point out that this is not the Fox from the blog. This is a different Fox.
I'm like double the age of you, Fox, so I'm like the next, you're the next generation Fox. I'm the old grandpa Fox.
Oh, Grandpa Fox. The Silver Fox.
Silver Fox. I'm the
Silver Fox.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I hope you found these answers interesting, and if you have any questions yourself, please put them in the box below, and we will also attempt to answer those questions. So thanks very much. Cheers.
Chrissy, your pants don't show, but I just want to make sure you're comfortable with the shot, because I can see, like, your thigh.
Oh, my thigh is wonderful. I'm happy with that.
I assume so.
I'm a dirty bitch. So.
Okay.
Dream slut.
Dream
Dream
slut.
slut.
Sex metal Barbie.